All right. This is a special reaction I'm going to do today. I was listening to a podcast last night while I was working. Um, this artist, Jelly Roll, was the guest on the podcast, and I often listen to these podcasts because they're like around 3 hours long usually, and um, Joe Rogan, he can get pretty out there with his interviews, and um like I hear about Jelly Roll. I don't know much about Jelly Roll, so I'm thinking, okay, well, let's just see where this goes, right? And so I started listening to it a bit yesterday afternoon, and I got taken away in my job, and so it got late last night, and I was looking for something to kind of focus on while I was driving down the highway. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw this interview back on and see what it's all about, and see what this guy's up, about. And, you know, um, I wrote a couple of notes just so that I could remember, you know, what was some of the important points, the reason why I'm doing this. And so, yeah, so I've spoke about people and their music, like Ren and his music being an outlet. Jelly Roll said that writing for him is an outlet. And it was astonishing for me is when he would say that, yeah, like he just, did up 100 songs. It's like easy for him when he was in jail to write music and to express himself that way. And like, it was just really inspiring. I was really inspired by this interview. Um, but what was really cool, or not cool, but serendipitous almost, is that today, as some of my listeners might already know, today, October 16th, marks kind of a special day for me. 16 years ago, I decided to sober up. Um, this is kind of hard to talk about, right? Like, I don't want. Anyway, I have a past. We all have a past. My past was a little bit rocky, and my life, it wasn't going anywhere. Uh, you know, I was on my own, far away from home. Um, the only people that I knew were up to no good, and like I couldn't keep a job, I couldn't keep a girl in my life. Um, Even my friends, like if all I wanted to do was get high, and so it was like without getting too deep into it, my life wasn't going anywhere fast, and I decided that I needed to clean up. And even in the decision to clean up, when I was given the opportunity to, I still failed. But I persevered through those struggles, and I remembered the opportunities that I had in the past. In I'm not going to get into too much detail of it, but I found some help, and I poured out my soul. And when I did that, I had a couple of guys stand up for me and offer. They the first man that I met who helped me in this the city I was living in. He he knew the struggles that I was going through, and he said, "Here, take my number. If you have any troubles, give me a call." And fast forward many years, and I moved out west in Canada. I have a friend that I met from where I was from, come out west as well, and he was going back to Toronto. And I put it out there on my social media because I knew a lot of people in the Toronto area that could support him. And I said, "Hey, I've got a friend who's um, moving back to Toronto and could use some support." And who's the first guy that responded on my Facebook post was that man, over 10 years ago that said, "Hey, here, take my number." He said, "You can give him my number." Um, you know, solid man, Rick. Uh, Back to the video. So I'm listening to this interview, and he starts to talk about uh, he has some experience in 12-step meetings, and he would go to these meetings, and he ended up sitting in this meeting and listening to this guy pour his heart out and was crying, and another man come up to him and said, nobody walks in to these rooms on a winning streak. And so he was touched, and he's like, wow, yeah. And he ended up writing a song called Winning Streak, the one that we're going to view today together. And I just thought, I'm listening to this the eve of my clean date, and I thought maybe I'll do a special video reacting to that song. So yeah, I just went on to write the things that I just talked about. So I was hoping that I would find a video, so we're not just looking at a blank screen, but all I could find was the lyrics with this image. So this is his channel, and there was a video on Saturday Night Live, but because of copyright, I'm not going to react to that video in the event that it gets taken down, and I don't want to risk having all of this this first reaction to have been a waste. So I'm just gonna get into it. This is Winning Streak by Jelly Roll.
Count me in still up. The broken glass of a bottle makes a jagged rock bottom. Right now I got two shaky hands, only one way to stop. And I haven't touched a drop in 7 hours, 3 minutes. Hardly sobered up, already wanna quitting. Sweating in an old church basement, wishing I was wasted. Never thought I'd say this. Hello, my name's Jason. And I've been losing myself, I've been losing my mind. And I've been standing in the rain just trying to stay dry. I was so ashamed to be in this seat till I met a man who was 20 years clean. He said everybody here has felt the same defeat. Nobody walks through these doors on a winning streak. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on. The broken man in the mirror can't look at me 'cause he's guilty. And I swear that the last couple months that motherfucker tried to kill me. By the time I saw it coming, it was done with already. It's hard to run from it when it runs in the family. A problem with 1,000 more it's causing. Damn, this shit's exhausting. This is why I walked in. Thanks for letting me share, y'all. And I've been losing myself, I've been losing my mind. And I've been standing in the rain just trying to stay dry. I was so ashamed to be in this seat till I met a man who was 20 years clean. He said everybody here has felt the same defeat. Nobody walks through these doors on a winning streak. I'm tired of being broken. I'm sick of feeling hopeless. Way down here at my lowest. At the end of my road. At the end of my road. So what do I do? So what do I do? What do I do? And I've been losing myself, I've been losing my mind. And I've been standing in the rain just trying to stay dry. I was so ashamed to be in this seat till I met a man who was 20 years clean. He said everybody here has felt the same defeat. Nobody walks through these doors on a winning streak.
Oh, that's heavy music. Oh my god. I was not expecting this. Oh, a little sweaty in the pits. Feel kind of. Feel like crying. Honestly, like I can't. I'm at a loss for words. His music, the lyrics. Wow. Yes. I relate to your music, Jelly Roll, 100%. At least this song, anyway. I don't know your music, but when I heard your interview last night on Joe Rogan, I don't know how old the interview was, and you guys talked about a lot of things, simulations, uh, starting something up in Texas. You know, I hope that you're reaching high. Uh, Recovery is a beautiful thing if you allow it to work in your life, one day at a time. I'm living proof at 16 years today that you can have beautiful things. Um, I just remember being young and before I even picked up my first dope, I remember not feeling like I was part of this world yet, not knowing uh, my purpose. I didn't know. I just didn't know what to do. I felt like I had a higher calling and I didn't know what it was, and I felt lost. And when I found uh, marijuana for the first time, all of those worries went away. I smiled. We were on our way to this teen night at a bar to go dancing. And that's not my thing. I'm not a dancer. I'm a shy away in the dark in the corner. And the weed, it took that away from me. And I got up on the dance floor and I danced with the prettiest girl. And I smiled and had a good time. And I thought to myself, this is it. This is my calling. I'm going to be a drug addict. I didn't say that to myself, but I found a solution in the weed. And how was I ever going to quit now? How was I ever going to not be the fried egg in the frying pan? You know, I was gonna be fried every day, and every new drug I tried along the way gave me those feelings because eventually the old ones didn't quite work anymore. And so naturally, I would try new things and I would get those same feelings again like, oh, this is my new thing. And I never thought that I'd ever be able to quit. And um, in the middle of it all, like I would have a car that would break down. I couldn't afford to fix it because I needed money for dope. Have an apartment that I would lose because I didn't have enough money to pay because I needed money for dope. I had friends in my life that stopped answering my calls because I was never available for them when they called me because I was too busy getting high. Um, I have a brother who I live near, and we have a relationship today, but at one point we didn't have a relationship like, because of drugs. This song, this music, it really hit me. Um, I don't, I don't know that I was ever ashamed sitting in a chair in a basement of a church saying that I have a problem with drugs. I didn't feel ashamed. Uh, I only felt ashamed the one time when I relapsed and I was gone for 2 years, banging my head. You know, more research and development. Uh, when I came back and I had to get up there and admit that I had screwed up and I needed help again. I was ashamed that day, and it was hard. It was hard to do. I felt like I was being looked at. I was being judged by the people who were still clean years later. But when I turned and started walking back to my chair after admitting that I screwed up and I needed help again, I had brothers there shaking my hand, giving me a hug, sisters smiling, way to go, you made it back. Man, I don't want this to be a depressing video, but Jelly Roll really touched me today. And, you know, yeah, my, my good friend, my spiritual advisor, he says to me that, a friend of mine a long time ago, a spiritual friend of mine said that, like, when you experience pain, like grief, what happens? I say, well, a little bit sweaty, I'm shaking my voice, I feel like I'm gonna cry, and I want to run. He goes, okay, well, that is how Jeff experiences grief. Okay, so let's honor that. Let's honor those experiences and allow yourself to feel them. Allow Jeff to feel grief, because you're not asking for these gross feelings. They're just happening naturally. So that is how Jeff reacts to grief. So let's honor Jeff and allow him to react to grief. And instead of running away, instead of running and hiding and trying to escape those feelings, let's welcome them. And as we practice welcoming these feelings, every time in the future when we experience grief, it's going to be easier, and running isn't going to be an option anymore. We're just going to allow these feelings to come in, live a natural life, and then die. Allow those feelings to live through you and allow them to die. And so I have experienced practicing with grief, and today I can say that it's easier for me. This is many years later, and it's easier for me to experience grief. The way that I've reacted to this song feels a lot like that, a lot like how I experience grief. And I'm squirming in my seat because I haven't been practicing. I'm uncomfortable. And and it's like I'm sharing this gross feeling with a live audience. And this is real. This is a real reaction. Uh yeah. Whew. So Jelly Roll. Let's see what else you've got going on in your life. Big Spooky Jeff, and this is my channel and my first reaction to Winning Streak from Jelly Roll. If y'all are listening and you've got something that you know that's a little bit a little more uplifting, send it my way in the comments section. Hit the subscribe, and I'll be sure to follow the comments. I'll react to your suggestion. Till then, stay blessed.